for a very serious purpose, Something's out of control, but we're going to put it in control very quickly like we did on the southern border. I'm announcing a historic action to rescue our nation's capital from crime, bloodshed, bedlam, and squalor, and worse. This is Liberation Day in D.C., and we're going to take our capital back. We're taking it back. Under the authorities vested in me as the President of the United States, I'm officially invoking Section 740 of the District of Columbia Home Rule Act. You know what that is? And placing the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department under direct federal control, and you'll be meeting the people that will be directly involved with that. Very good people, but they're tough, and they know what's happening. They've done it before. In addition, I'm deploying the National Guard to help reestablish law, order, and public safety in Washington, D.C., and they're going to be allowed to do their job properly.
And this is an unprecedented move, and it comes on the heels of their man Big Balls getting beat down in D.C. They never seem to care about anyone else getting stabbed, shot, and killed, Seth Riches, anything else in the past. But all of a sudden now, they care. They care about going after druggies, right? Isn't that what a lot of the small-minded people out there are thinking? You think that this is all about druggies? What about the people that have a 9-to-5 that work all week and live out of the vehicle or are homeless? What kind of camp are they going into? Huh? Do you ever stop to think about that and see the bigger picture? Of course. People that are on drugs need help. That's obvious. But that's where it stops with some of you. Your small mind can't seem to see the bigger picture of what they're doing. Just like you can't see with these strike teams going around rounding people up, that the moment they lock people back down again, they're going to be used on purebloods. You better see the bigger picture of what's happening here. The federalization of a city is no joke. Taking over the police force is no joke. Putting a National Guard on the streets against the people to do whatever they need to do, he said, is no joke. And it happens. Now, D.C. is its own little neck of the woods with its own laws, and it's just like London, just like the Vatican. I've explained this in separate videos, but this sets a precedent. Anyone that wants to show up saying, how can you be against them treating people for drugs? We never said that. Not once. You just made it up. We've never said that. You're just assuming that, or you're clinging to garbage. Yeah, they need help, but you won't face the bigger question. What happens to all the other people out here that are homeless? How does it affect them? What kind of camp are they going in? That's the issue. Not people on drugs that need the help, not that. It's everyday people that are going to get swept up off the streets everywhere with nowhere to go. They're going to get rounded up, and where are they going to go? Well, we'll see what these camps end up looking like, these treatment facilities, but again, how do you treat someone for being poor? That's the big question from here. Join me for the live streams, going live Monday, Wednesday.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 21 and verse 20. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Before I get on with this video, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahawashi, the double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. May Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahawashi's peace be bestowed unto you, hopefully elect. I'm your brother Yahweh call from the Great Millstone, Orlando. And again, I'm going to read Luke 21 and 20. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Now, this is pursuing to the warning Yahweh Shah was giving Jake before the siege of Jerusalem prior to 70 AD. But it's a modern day besieging all over again, right in front of everyone's face, under everyone's noses. You see, America more and more is becoming, or it will become, militarized. It's going to become more of a totalitarian rule, right? And as it says here in Revelation 13, because supposedly, allegedly, and a lot of these things are getting swept under the rug. It's getting so bad in certain places as far as these ICE protest raids and things of that nature. And of course, a lot of these things are getting swept under the rug. Supposedly, it's getting so bad in certain states here in America. Supposedly, some of these detention centers are getting, I'm not going to say overthrown, but They're basically getting raided. You know, certain places, again, in America, certain states, dealing with these protests, these raids and things of that nature. You know, certain businesses, because it's getting to a point where people can't even walk outside of their door. People can't go on a walk to walk their dog, to being in the mix of things, you know. Supposedly that's how bad it's getting. You can't even walk your dog. So, I mean, this being good news for us, obviously bad news for the world being our good news. You know, this thing will continue to spill over. And as I said, Lord willing, did a video. How about Shemal Shah put the spirit on Trump not to take his foot off the gas pedal. I'm going to read this in Revelation 13. Revelation 13 and verse 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. So in the name of peace, safety, security, in the name of reclaiming law and order, under that guise, because, you know, with Esau, as we always talk about, the controlled chaos, he needs that controlled demolition, a certain amount of chaos. He already has his laws set in place, set aside. It's just a matter of the right events to bring forth these unjust decrees. So, with all this chaos that's going on in the States, and the promises of Babylon, you know, it's going to justify bringing in the order. One thing will lead to another, and it will be full-blown martial law. Here it is, again, allegedly. You know, it's like they're painting that narrative again with the virus. You know, the event that took place back in 2019 that led to the events of the world crisis, the world being shut down in 2020. And supposedly, you know, over there in China, they're battling some, you know, there's some cases dealing with infectious diseases and things of that nature. And it's looking like, again, the whole 2019 scenario all over again. So, like I said, you know, one thing is going to lead to another. I mean, there's a lot of narratives that's going on right now, but obviously that's why we just have to stay on our watch and like brothers say, we stay ready so we won't have to be ready, because at any moment, all right, this devil's going to come down with that great wrath. And again, it's a modern day sieging. It's a modern day besieging. All right, right under our noses. And while Jacob's playing games, they're going to get caught out there like a deer in the middle of the road, like a deer in those headlights. Going back to that Luke. Because as I just read here in Revelation 13, under the guise of safety and security, more and more Trump is militarizing Babylon. And with that being said, one thing is going to lead to another, and it's going to be full-blown draconian, which that's what that word dragon goes into. Draconian measures. All right. Again, all in the name of, in the guise of reestablishing law, order, peace, safety, and things of that nature. So going back to that Luke 21 again and 20. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. And again, pursuant to the siege of Jerusalem, well, there's no new thing under the sun. All right. And as the scriptures say, the scriptures tell us to prepare our minds to be pilgrims. We have to be ready to leave it all behind, because, I mean, we don't know where we're going to be. All right. We just don't know. I know oftentimes when, because, you know, sometimes if the Wi-Fi goes out, it could just be whatever the situation may be. But in my mind, in that moment, I'm thinking, is this it? When the Wi-Fi goes out, when it starts acting up, is this it? But, you know, obviously it comes back on. But at some point one day, you know, the shit's going to shut off and it's not going to come back on. You know,